I am honored and delighted to share with you how I found my way from napping to also thriving. You will come away with step-by-step instructions to navigate the tides of chronic fatigue so you too can be napping plus thriving. Get comfy, maybe put on PJs like me. So, what happened? People always are interested to know how I came to choose Napping Thriving as an area of learning and sharing, and what perfect storm led someone to this unusual chronic fatigue situation, especially as a young person in full swing with life. In my case, a 3-hour surgery in 1997 was the catalyst for debilitating, life-altering fatigue. After many ear infections as a child, my eardrum had burst and a cyst was growing that threatened my hearing. The cyst needed to be removed and my eardrum needed to be reconstructed. I was 27 years old and would never return to my pre-surgery life. At the time of the surgery, I was in the middle of applying to physical therapy school, taking the college level science and math courses I had never taken as an art major in my previous schooling. Chemistry and biology were now my passion. I lived in a house in the Hamptons with anywhere from 4 to 6 roommates, had a job, and worked out every day. I also had a boyfriend. I was going along, doing my thing, and then slam, crash, stop. The 3-hour surgery left me bedridden with chronic fatigue for years, from one day to the next. It took me a year to learn how to nap, 2 years to understand chemicals in stores made me sick. There was a steep learning curve and so many lessons. Much of the information and techniques I'm sharing with you are something I wish someone had shared with me. Experience post-exertional malaise, chemical sensitivity, daytime fatigue, and or chronic pain. Yes, you are my people. I am your people. This information is for you. Most likely, this is for you as you may need to close your tired eyes while you listen. You won't be missing a PowerPoint or any other visuals, so you can close your eyes whenever you need to. I was supposed to return to work at the brokerage firm after 3 weekdays off, plus the weekend. That should be enough time to heal from an intrusive surgery, thought my naive self. But I felt sick, like I had the flu, just without a fever or vomiting. I had worked the front desk at Payne Weber for 4 years. My bosses, a wonderful husband and wife team, offered that I house sit and enjoy their home on the beach to recuperate, perhaps time alone in a beautiful house, listening to the ocean, breathing in salty air, and taking in gorgeous sunsets would help me heal faster. No, that didn't do it. I still felt really sick. The nurse in the surgeon's office said, when I called to say I thought I might be having a reaction to the antibiotics, "You've been in bed the entire week since the surgery. Get out of bed now." My version of getting out was to study biology by the pool. Still sick. Mom made the trek from Massachusetts to East Hampton to check on me. She would end up taking a couple of weeks, which turned into a month of leave from her job, and then she would end up bringing me back with her to move in. I had lost major weight in 1 week, from curvaceous to gaunt. I stayed in bed for hours, which stretched into months, then years. My body had crumpled and I had to learn to live with it. No, this was not depression. The only time I felt depressed was when people asked me if I was. This was my otherwise healthy body collapsing like a row of dominoes. Likely an allergic reaction to the anesthesia brought me to this point. Many reasons and situations lead to chronic fatigue and a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome. I am not assisting with diagnosis in this course. No need. When you are tired to the core of your marrow and soul, you know it. It would take me years of trial and error to understand napping and thriving. Here I was, back with Mom in Massachusetts. She and her fiance had kindly taken in a 27-year-old sickly young woman. I tried to do my share of housework. Doing the dishes was an athletic event for me. My muscles sore due to the workout of standing up and holding dishes for an extended period of time. 3 years later, I was pronounced legally disabled at age 30 and started receiving Medicare. I remember feeling sad, yet recognized and supported after the decision. This meant I would get some monies based on my earnings from what I had worked and earned before the surgery as the receptionist at the brokerage firm. No more 4-day weekends in France, runs on the beach, or any sense of a normal life. Many of my peers were now married, only to be divorced later, to be honest. I looked thoroughly rested, and so had suitors who would quickly run the other way. Tired dating was a source of amusement for me, despite the pain of repeated rejections. I'm kind of blushing saying this. Who could blame them? Who would want to create a life with someone who had interests but zero energy to pursue them, let alone have regular employment, host parties, nor pretty much do anything with vigor? Until I met my brave, beloved warrior of a husband. That guy is a champ. It turns out Champ is also his last name and now mine. Over the years, I have gotten stronger. While I do continue to day sleep and manage physical ailments and pains, let's get to the pursuit at hand, getting you napping and thriving. Each instructional video will be 5 to 10 minutes long, so you can focus a few minutes at a time as you make your way through this class. Space the videos 1 week apart to mull over the information. Practice and include the ideas in your day. Other than the first two, which are introduction and my background, consistency is so helpful when incorporating something new into one's life. That's what I have found. For example, playing the Napping Thriving videos can be on the calendar for Thursdays at 5. So your activity for a napping person this week is to locate a journal and pen before starting the next video. Please ponder what led you to chronic fatigue. What is your life like these days and nights? Have that in mind for next time. That's all for now. Have a nice rest. Voilà. Ça va les bras?